What's the craziest domino effect to ever happen during school? I indirectly caused a girl from middle school to unalive herself because I told everyone she sucked pee-pee. When I was in 8th grade, a group of girls decided to trick me into thinking one of them liked me. I'm pretty sure their goal was that I would ask them out and they would aggressively reject me in front of as many people as possible. I was going to ask them out, but then a friend warned me and showed me proof that they didn't actually like me and were just looking for new things to ridicule me over. I was infuriated over this, and obviously never tried to ask her out. But, from then on, whenever a friend or anyone who wasn't in on the joke asked me why I didn't ask her out, I would simply tell them I found out that they were giving out blowjobs for $5 after school and I don't want to be with someone who does that. Obviously this wasn't true, but I didn't care. After a couple days of telling people this whenever they would ask, I saw people coming up to her with money, and she would be confused because nobody would specify why they were handing her $5. I thought this was funny, so I kept propagating the rumor. Eventually someone asked me why she wasn't accepting people's offers, and I said, really? I guess she got caught and had to stop or something. Then whenever someone else would ask me from there, I'd say yeah, I heard about that. I bet her parents caught her or something after she dealt with this for half of the school year. Someone finally asked her directly why she stopped her services, and I'm guessing she had enough and broke down crying in front of everyone. I was there when it happened, albeit I was pretty far off and I only saw the part where she broke down. I saw a crowd gather around her and I saw people recording. Then that night I saw posts on Instagram with titles calling her a whore, or a slut, among other things. Seeing those posts was the happiest I'd ever been at the time. A few close friends sent me videos and up-close pictures of her losing her poop over something I created. It felt like the perfect payback for what she did to me. She was being ruthlessly mocked to a point that her friends left her because they didn't want to be targets on the firing range like her. It's been years since I last saw her. I ended up going to a private school for high school, so I lost touch with most of the people from my middle school. But I would occasionally look at old friends' profiles and they were still occasionally making jokes about her last year when I was a junior. I found out from an old friend on Snapchat that she unalived herself. Apparently she took her dad's car and drove it off a cliff into a lake or something like that. Instantly 3 thoughts entered my mind: holy effing poop. She probably wasn't even the main person behind the prank. They probably just used her because she was the most convincing. I unalived her. I didn't sleep that night. I spent the entire night looking at her socials. I asked friends if they would send me her yearbook photos, and the visual pipeline of her going from an average happy middle-class girl to absolutely miserable made me feel the most intense guilt ever. It felt like someone had dropped a car on me and I was being forced to carry it. When I was texting my old classmates, I had to pretend I didn't care about what happened to her. At one point I even FaceTimed someone. And the struggle to not let my mask of indifference slip was one of the hardest things mentally and physically that I've ever had to do. The worst part though, is that all of the mental anguish I've been under since finding out about this definitely isn't even a small fraction of what she went through. What I put her through. The only person I've been truthful to about this is my therapist. I constantly remember how happy I was when I first saw those videos of her crying and feel disgusted by myself. I didn't know my actions would cause something so horrific. I feel like a murderer and I want to confess to someone, but I don't want to ruin my life.